Conducting a primary and secondary research. Primary research refers to gathering first-hand information by conducting direct observations, administering questionnaires, and collecting raw data from primary sources. These activities are always conducted by professionals to collect data of the highest accuracy. Secondary research utilizes the information gathered through primary research to produce clean data used in real-life situations. It mainly uses the data compiled by people or researchers in the past. The primary survey aims to obtain data and answer previously unasked questions. Because primary research takes more time and costs more, it is to a firm's benefit to undertake it only after the identified inaccessible research methods. Secondary research is relatively more cost-effective than primary research because it mainly analyzes the collected data. It also does not involve physical activities such as traveling, administering questionnaires, conducting interviews, and observing, making it less tiresome. In most cases, primary research is done by the researcher himself or someone hired to do the research, while the researcher does not do secondary research. The researcher utilizes the data from primary research through calculations and graphing. A primary researcher uses questioning, observations, and interviews when gathering the information, while a secondary researcher utilizes the data from journals, dissertations, and published sources. In the primary, questionnaires are mainly used and can be done online or physically. Mobile phones, laptops, and other electronic gadgets are used in secondary research. Most primary research does not require much skill because it mainly collects raw data. However, secondary research forces one to have skills in various areas such as mathematics, sciences, and even politics. Secondary research is subjected to biases and errors. This can occur especially when the primary researcher made mistakes during the study or collected data using faulty instruments. Because of this, a secondary researcher can end up submitting incorrect results. These errors can also occur as a result of the bias of the observer during the research or because of the correspondent lying during the interview. The advantage of primary research is that the instruments used to collect data are less expensive than the tools used in secondary research. Additionally, the tools are also easy to use and do not require much expertise in handling than the methods used in secondary research. The efficiency of secondary research depends entirely on primary research. In most cases, primary research is highly considered adequate, especially in cases where people or firms require getting information from the sources directly instead of relying on the already processed data. Primary research gives people and organizations confidence in their research findings because they will try to get more accurate results, giving organizations and companies more control over their collected data. For one to opt for primary research, there are many things one needs to consider. First, they need to state their objectives. The data collection methods they intend to use, the expected research outcomes, and they have a deep understanding of the biases that may arise from their research. Secondary research can be applied when the matter studied has been studied by other researchers, and there is a clear record of their findings. Organizations can opt for secondary research, especially when there is a record of the primary research done on the same issue. In conclusion, when carrying out research, it is vital to know the available information alternatives to ensure that the right sort of data is used to reach an efficacy conclusion. However, a detailed overview of the various data types, resemblances, and differences is required. Both primary and secondary data can be used in business and research. They may, however, differ in terms of how they have been collected, used, and analyzed.